parents, a mom and daddy, any kind of family.
They might not be blood related, but to me, they're family.
These kids are so worth it.
No place to call home. That is the reality right now for thousands of Arkansas children. Hello everyone, I'm Dawn Scott and welcome to our special program, A Place to Call Home, Fostering Hope. On any given day, there are nearly 4,000 kids in state foster care, yet not enough homes to keep them. For the next half hour, we highlight the desperate need for foster families in Arkansas. We tell you what happens to teens who age out of care without ever finding a family. And we give you a rare look inside a home right here in central Arkansas where multiple teens live who can't find a forever home. THV 11 started our partnership with the Department of Human Services in late 2009, and once a month we introduce you to a child in need of a loving family. So far we've profiled 107 foster children from across the state. Of those, 59 have been adopted or are on their way to having a forever family. 4 teens, however, aged out of the system, never finding a mom or dad of their own. One of those who didn't age out, 15-year-old Truett. He found his place to call home, and it has forever changed his life. 15-year-old Truett Corbin is your everyday average teenager. But the story he is now willing to share is anything but.
I remember me thinking about my situation constantly. I remember me feeling just like I had a hopeless situation, that, you know, nothing was going right at all. I just thought my future is just hopeless, that there was nothing that's going to save me from this disaster.
That disaster began 2 years ago, before he was a big brother, before he ended up here. Truett's birth parents and grandparents failed him. He ended up in DHS custody in a foster facility where he was reportedly assaulted by another child. With a broken jaw and nights spent in the hospital, he was frightened to return, but he had nowhere else to go. That's when Alicia and Michael Corbin got the call.
And it was never on our map to take a teenager. I mean, we were one of those families that wanted to keep our birth order in line and, you know, birth to age 3 only, which would be underneath the ages of our children.
Those birth children, now 10-year-old Gabriel and 7-year-old Naomi. At the time, the Corbins had also just taken in twin baby girls.
But we felt like that we were supposed to step up, and so Michael met the caseworker at the hospital and he brought him home that night, and he was supposed to be our son.
Taking in a teenager was a big deal, but we just, we felt like God just said, you know, I've got this.
My dad came to the hospital, picked me up, and we drove to the house, and immediately I started feeling all this stress on my back, just relieved, and I was at my house.
From that first night, Truett says he was home. And suddenly this only child was a big brother, a son, a boy with his own room, a safe place to begin the process of healing.
I was extremely excited. I got a new last name, a new name completely, a new life, a new start. And God just gave me a completely new way to live.
And he was a mess when we got him, and I told him that I would tell you that before he got here. He was like, I hope you do, Mom. But yeah, I mean, he was in trouble and not making good grades and had, you know, been into a lot of stuff, but we just loved him and worked with him, and he went to some counseling, but these children just need families. Show me your cheesy grin.
And that is exactly what Truett now has, a brother, 3 sisters, a mom and a dad, a place to call home.
He just really has turned around so much and has just blossomed. He is such a great kid, such a hard worker, so dedicated to his family and to his siblings.
Truett has a gratitude and a thankfulness that my biological kids will never understand.
We needed him just as much as he needed us.
Truett now hoping his story will inspire others to adopt teens and will inspire the teens out there who have no home, no family, those often forgotten.
I know that deep inside they feel like their situation is hopeless, and all they're searching for is just someone to love on them and tell them that they're proud of them, that it's okay, everything's gonna be fine.
So many teens know that hopelessness all too well. Right now, in fact, there are 942 foster children aged 14 and older in state care. One of them Krista. She has no home, no family, but refuses to give up hope of finding just that.
Welcome, we're glad to have you.
I love it.
14-year-old Krista is not used to this kind of attention.
I never had any clothes like this before.
In fact, no one ever has taken this girl shopping.
I feel like royalty today, I don't know why.
So when the stylists and owners at Forsyth's in West Little Rock found that out, they made certain Krista was pampered,
She's gonna love that.
styled,
I love any color except for pink.
and trendy.
These are reversible.
Krista loves clothes, but trouble is she lives in a group foster home and doesn't have the many privileges so many of us take for granted.
I'm really grateful that they helped me out to find the right outfits that I like.
The ladies here initially wanted to treat her to one ensemble, but then they saw how happy and overwhelmed she was.
Okay, so originally when we came, they were gonna allow you to pick one outfit. But all the stylists in the store and everybody is banded together and they want you to pick 3.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I love the pattern of these jeans.
Shortly after all was tried on and outfits chosen, after she was gifted
I love that one.
with this owl necklace, she sat down to share her story of her life as a foster child since the age of 3.
I'm 14 now.
It's a long time.
I know.
She shares with me the difficulty of living in a group home, the repeated dashed hope that a family will come for her, and the feeling of being unwanted.
Sorry. I've been trying to get adopted for a very long time and nothing's working out.
Nothing's working out, she says.
Sweetheart, we just really enjoyed having you in the store today.
But days like this, meeting kind people, being gifted with bags of clothes, give her hope that there is someone out there who will give her a chance.
That makes me feel happy, and I don't have to deal with all the moving around. I want to have a place so I can call it home.
Special thanks to Forsyth's and Kristen Todd and all the stylists there for treating Krista. You can find more information on her and all the other children we feature at thv11.com. There's no roadmap for teens in foster care, no blueprint, no 5-year plan. Last year, in fact, 221 teenagers aged out of the state system with no clue of what's next. To help with the transition, there is the Arkansas Youth Advisory Board. They too are in foster care, each fighting their own battles, figuring out their own plans without the help of a loving family to guide them. The group of 19 teens held a youth conference in Hot Springs this month for more than 200 foster kids. They taught a number of things, covering topics like budgeting, finances, and applying for college. And I had the pleasure of sitting down with 6 teens on that board. Planning to hear stories of sadness and disappointment, I quickly learned that these teens don't focus on the past, but on their future. What brought you into foster care?
I had a guardian who watched over me, and she had guardianship of me, and in 2009 she had passed away, so I got put in foster care.
My mom was on drugs and she provided an unstable home, and they said there was neglect of children.
My mom, I don't blame her for anything. Really. She was a single parent, and yeah, she probably could have tried a little harder, but I still, she's my family.
What happened in your family that put you in foster care?
My mama does drugs.
I was 9, and just a real bad home situation. Our parents really abused us really bad physically and emotionally.
What has life been like in foster care?
The longest I've been with a foster parent is about a year and a half.
How many different homes have you been in?
4.
Too many?
Yes.
I still live in my hometown in Fort Smith.
In a foster home?
Yeah, in a foster home. It's actually one of a really good friend of mine. His mom, she went through the process of opening her home up to me so I can come live with them. That way I wouldn't be placed outside my home.
I am in a foster facility. I'm in a shelter.
And you're happy in your foster home?
Yes.
You like the mother and the father there? Do you call them mom and dad, or do you call them by their names?
I call them mom and dad.
Yeah, and they take care of you.
Good care of me. I'm spoiled.
How many foster families have you lived with?
10 or more, just really some group homes, some shelters, and a few foster homes in between.
So you never were adopted?
Never were adopted.
Did you want to be at a certain point?
At a certain point, I wanted to be adopted, and then me and my sister attended a lot of the adoption picnics and stuff, and then I just realized after a while that it really probably wasn't going to happen for us, and I kind of just came to terms with that.
After an amount of time, I just learned to live with it and, you know, not get too attached, but of course make friends. So
adoption has came up. It actually came up last year, and I said no because I just don't want to be adopted. I told them, I said, well, I put it on paper when I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
So what is your role here today? Are you helping to teach other children in your situation?
I'm on the youth advisory board, and pretty much we are advocates for youth that are in the foster care system that don't really have a voice.
Just to reach out to these kids and let them know and lead them down the right path and just show them that there is a way for foster kids, and to show them what we have to give them.
I've been through group home shelters and foster homes, so I think I've experienced not all of it but most of it, and so I feel like I can relate with more of them.
I can tell people, I know you want to go home. I know you don't like being in care, but you have to deal with it because you can't change your mom or your dad.
It seems though, rather than focusing on the struggle, that you really are focusing on the future.
Wanted to do something better with my life than let people categorize me with some, like, foster kids are so bad and stuff, like they can't do nothing right.
I sort of feel that I don't have a home right now because I've moved so many places. But in my mind, I'm not looking at what's going on now. I'm looking at what's going on in the future and where I'm going to go then.
And you keep your hope there.
Right.
To learn more about each of the teens in foster care you just heard from, visit our website, thv11.com. As we mentioned earlier, 59 of the 107 children we featured in our Place to Call Home series have been adopted or are in pre-adoptive placement. But for the 48 who are still looking for a forever family, our efforts continue. And as we leave you tonight, here are some of those children in need of a place to call home. I'm Dawn Scott, and we thank you for watching.
They're adopting us to have a new mommy and daddy because our other family that made bad choices, they fight it.
Dakota loves horses, all animals really.
Hamsters, dogs, cats, horses, all kinds of animals.
A testament to his pure and giant heart.
I got taken away since I was 3, and I'm 11 now. It's about probably 8 years.
I've been playing drums ever since I was 5, so I'm really good at it.
Have fun, play tag, play hide and go seek.
I know sometimes there's not always going to be happiness around the house, but just this feeling of the love and caring inside the house.
I called trout. 8 trout, matter of fact.
It's true, 8 trout for 6th grader Cameron, one after the other. But perhaps the biggest surprise would be a family to step up and take her in, give Kendall the commitment and love she needs.
I do good things.
Yes, like what?
I help people.
Yeah?
Get across the street.
Uh-huh.
And clean up the whole house.
For 15-year-old Sean,
and you want to be a meteorologist?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Keith has been a foster child for nearly 5 years. He came into the system because of abuse. It is something that affects him to this day.
Our mom didn't have a house and she wasn't able to feed us.
Do you like being in a foster home?
And I'm going to move.
Where do you want to move?
I'm going to move somewhere else.
I understand that as you're a teenager, it's a lot different than it would be adopting a baby, because most people, they want to adopt a baby and they want to start off new.
Dang, hey, Chuck E. Cheese.
It was so much joy in this one moment for a boy whose start in life has been anything but.
We just want to be together. I just want a place to call home. Instead of being here, going there, stay here this how many times, and I just want me and my sisters to be together.